You know, growing up for me was kind of hectic, like, not that I didn't come from a good family or anything. I came from a good family, but I had Asperger's syndrome. I didn't find that out until I was about 14, and when I found that out, I was miserable. I thought like I was retarded, all this shit. Really, I'm not. I'm pretty smart, I think, now. But I was 14, I didn't know any better. And but growing up, like, my dad, he was a New York City cop, homicide detective, and mother was a nurse. And they blessed me with two beautiful brothers, Brendan and Aiden. I love them to death. And I would do anything for them. I would. And so growing up, like, I got bullied a little bit. My dad told me, he's like, yo, go outside and fight the biggest one. I said, no, get the fuck out of here. I'm not going to do that. But I did it. And for that reason, they left me alone. And after that, it was on from there. I don't blame my father for that at all. He was just upset. He was trying to get me to be a man, basically. Anyway. And so, growing up, I listened to a lot of music. I was big on Dipset, big on G-Unit, especially coming from New York, and I liked Eminem. Eminem was the shit. When I was about 12, I had two friends that I was real close with that I grew up with, and they turned on me. They started this bullshit ass rumor that wasn't true, and for that, the whole neighborhood turned on me, and whatever, and it sucked. It hurt a lot. That was my first real taste of betrayal in my life, and after that, I started hanging around with older kids, started selling weed, boozing from stores, shit like that. When I was 13, I got things got really hectic. I was fighting all the time. My mother was like, yo, go do boxing in Freeport. I said, nah. But then I did it, and I gave up quick because I couldn't jump rope, I just couldn't fucking do it. So I was embarrassed. And then after that, I kept selling weed, and I ended up getting into a fight with this kid, and I stabbed him. He lives, but I stabbed him. After that, his cousin, I was stupid. I was just trying to make money. I went to go serve his cousin an ounce of bud, and he robbed me. And this kid, his name was Philly. He's the one that gave me the nickname Jmac, and I forgive him for that. He has died. He has since passed on, but I forgive him for it. Like, shit happens for a reason. It's sad. I lost a lot of people in my life, and then when I was about 14, no, maybe still 13, I moved to PA. My parents wanted to get me out of fucking New York to a better place. So we moved to Pennsylvania, to Bucks County, and I stopped selling weed for a little bit. Ended up fucking, getting in trouble in school, and I got locked up for 10 months. And while I was in there, nothing good came of it. I made some new alliances, some new connects for when I got out. And some of those friends that I made in there are still my friends to this day. And not for a bad thing either, like, we're real tight. And they never turned their back on me like some of these other faggots did. Excuse my language, but still, And so when I was about 15, I got out, and I started messing with this girl, local girl, beautiful girl. She was like someone I've never been with before, like, she was not ratchet, not a hoe. She really cared about me. I really cared about her, and she was like my best friend, and it was back and forth with us throughout high school. Got into more trouble, started selling cocaine. The cops were watching me like a motherfucker, and they thought I was some suburban kid, but really I'm a city kid, so fuck you motherfuckers. Stupid ass cops. Anyway, but I got in trouble. I got in a fight and got locked up, did like a year, and this was at the time they were building a narcotics trafficking case on me. and they ended up dropping it because I got locked up for a fight. I had 2 CIs against me. One of them was my best friend at the time. He's now a local rapper. Fucking homo. And some bull snitching on me. Anyways, so first time I was locked up, though, I started writing music a lot and getting into that whole thing. And when I got out, I kept writing. I went to this alternative school where they had a recording booth, and that's where I started mixing and stuff like that. I started to learn how to do that. It was fun. It was all for fun, you know, like from then to 19, I was fucking around with perks a lot and getting high on them. And when I ended up going to Florida for the first time for rehab, Fort Lauderdale, when I was like 19, for perks, and I ended up, doing really well down here for the most part. So I stopped writing music, because I was too busy on sobriety, and I didn't want to get back into it. I was afraid to. I thought I could only record when I was high. So one thing led to another, and I ended up going back home, and I linked up with this kid named Jay Spoken, Jeremy Cosme. He was one of my best friends. Good kid. And we looked out for each other heavy. And he ended up getting signed up with this group from Philly called Touch Money, Low Gang. And that's where I come into the picture. And I'm, hanging out with these Philly rappers, and I'm doing my thing. And I ended up stopping with the music just because I started getting high again. I ended up starting to snort heroin, fentanyl, cop out in Kensington, and from like 2014 to 2021, I was out there in Philly getting high. But in the middle of that, I started having sobriety too. I started making some music. I made one of my favorite mixtapes I made was the Kirsten Plant, and I named it that after my good friend Kirsten, and she was a good friend of mine. I recorded this in Florida. I had this DJ from Miami come in to produce a song called Just Want, which is one of my well-known songs that people like. Personally, I don't fucking like it. I don't like the way I sound, but they do, so fuck it. It's too pop for me. After all that, I started, in the middle of this, I'm getting high and shit. Emily she's the girl I was dating in high school. She ended up dying, God rest her soul. One of my best friends' saddest moment in my life was that when Emily died, and it broke my heart. I love that girl to death. So after she died, I started filling the void with her death with other females, and it became a whole mess. It just became really bad, and nowadays, I'm just focusing on my music, I'm sober for the most part. I smoke weed and drink here and there, but, I'm not on the hard shit anymore, and I'm happy about that, because that shit does nothing good for anybody. It doesn't do anything good for anybody. It fucks lives up, and I'm so happy to say I've been off that shit since April this year. It is now August, I'm doing good, I think. I'm working, I'm making music, I'm living in a crib with my boys and just friends, people I've grown with in my life. I have my godson, Dez, living here. Shit, I'm a godfather. I've been a godfather since 2014, but I'm just, I'm trying to do right. And that's all I gotta say about this shit.